Alright, so this is a video about Oshi no Ko, episode 1, an hour and 22 minutes. I originally already made this video, but I guess I developed new talking points about it that I wanted to talk about, so I'm redoing it. It was a super long episode, and before anyone gets anything twisted, I'm not about to shit on it, alright? I've done enough of it. I mean, not in the sense that this show is horrible or anything. It's just ranked number 1 on my anime list, the number 1 site for essentially ranking shit when it comes to anime and manga. After one episode, that I think is absurd. Aside from that, I thought it was a good episode. It's very misleading when you see a trailer or a visual, whatever they call it in anime world. So it's essentially, it looks like some goofy-ass, romanticized idol, you know, everyday manga, anime type bullshit. Like, you know, you always see these. There's a lot of romancy stuff. It looks like nothing out of the ordinary, but it's completely out of the ordinary. It's like a fucking movie, this first episode. Like, they just throw so much into it. And, you know, like, what the fuck? So my cousin came over one day. I came home. I got some new manga and shit, and she was reading some of it. And she asked, "Can we watch Oshi no Ko? This new anime out?" And everyone's talking about it. It's ranked number 1. I was like, ranked number 1? Ain't no anime ranked number 1 that I never heard of. So I went on my anime list and I look it up, and its ranking is number 1. And I was shocked. I was like, holy shit! Full Metal Alchemist has been here for so long. And if we can go back to that for a second, if you go back and look on the list, Full Metal Alchemist is still ranked number 3 in popularity. Oshi no Ko is still trying to break triple digits, alright? They're deep in triple digits. So let's not act like, you know, there's the new king on the block, alright? Let's not act like any of that. Oshi no Ko is fine, but to act like that's better than Attack on Titan is absurd. And the only reason I mention Full Metal Alchemist at all is because it just so happens to be second place. I've never seen Full Metal Alchemist, but there's plenty others that fucking Oshi no Ko is not better than. But anyways, moving on. We'll see what happens, but I believe the show has peaked with the first episode. It's hard to say it hasn't, because it was an hour and 22 minutes and they packed so much into it. And from what I heard from manga readers is that it doesn't essentially get better than that. It deviates from that a decent portion, but we'll have to see how they handle it in the anime. I've never read the manga, nor have I read Full Metal Alchemist or watched it. But to say this is number 1 is absurd. I watched it myself, so I've seen it. You know, I'm not, you know, I'm talking out of my ass. We're all about this this doctor. All right, he's a gynecologist, and he was treating some cancer patient for some reason. I don't know why he's treating this 8-year-old cancer patient if he's a gynecologist. Maybe she has like vagina cancer or something. I don't know if you can even have that. Fuck me for being uneducated, I guess. So anyway, she's obsessed with this idol named Ai Hoshino, I think is her last name, Ai Hoshino. And she's obsessed with this girl. I love her so much, doctor, yada yada yada. And then she dies. She's gone. And the doctor, in order to preserve her legacy, he obsesses over the idol in her honor and keeps up with her. Because that's, you know, to keep the fucking plot going, I guess. Try to make it all make sense. Anyways, 3 years after her passing, the idol comes into his office. You know, she's got the cap on, doesn't want anyone to see her or anything. And she's like, "I'm having twins." What the fuck? You're having twins? So the doctor starts freaking out. He's already freaking out because she's here. Now he's freaking out even more, like, oh my god, this girl's having twins. And the idol world in Japan is all fucked up, bro. Like, I keep hearing about, like, oh, you don't understand, like, it's fucked up. The idol world is fucked up. You know, there's so much going on. I don't care about the fucking idol world. I don't give a shit. Alright? I'm not into the idol world. Alright? This just so happens to be the number 1 rank. You know, like, people gotta stop, you know, breaking it down for us like that, as if we gave a fuck about the idol shit. We don't. We give a fuck about its number 1 ranking and everyone talking about it. It's definitely not deserving. Only because, like, you can't even fucking have this conversation right now. Because there's only 1 episode. Like, are we messed up in the head? Are we fucking psychotic here? Like, no. We can't have this conversation yet. I'm sorry. Anyways, so the doctor's like, don't worry, you're gonna have a safe pregnancy here, blah, 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 you'll be fine. Day of pregnancy comes along. Doctor's like, oh, wow, this is gonna be fucked. there's, and the idol, like I was saying earlier, the idol world's fucked up. To have children as a young idol is like fucking career suicide, apparently. And to not know, like, now you've also got to, people know that you've been fucked. You've taken dick. There was a guy in you. He unloaded in you. And now you have his offspring growing. And, let me move the camera. Some people will find that fucked up. Like, some crazy-ass people will find that fucked up, and that's just what this stalker in this show does. There's this, like, creepy stalker. Like, imagine my room, but it's all dark. It's got, like, shit hanging from the ceilings. Shit all on the floor. Like, I've only got a couple, like, sweaters on the floor there. But, like, this guy had everything on the floor. Like, garbage bags tied up on the floor. Like, this guy was crazy, and he was obsessed with this girl. And somehow he knew where she was gonna be. So, and the doctor's, meanwhile, the night before the surgery, he's out, maybe for a cigarette or whatever, reminiscing about the girl with cancer. And then the stalker comes up to him and says, "Yo, your eyes doctor, you're gonna be you're performing her surgery or her pregnancy or whatever the fuck, her birth." And he's like, "What the fuck? How do you know this? Who are you? Let me get your name. What's going on?" And he panics and runs away into the forest. So the doctor, for some fucking reason, all of a sudden becomes a super sleuth vigilante and runs after him in the middle of the night. Like, are you crazy right now? And he's like, "Where's this guy? Who is this? Is he a relative?" And then, boom. Doesn't realize he's at the edge of a cliff and gets pushed off by the stalker. Bang! Hits the floor, cracks his head on the fucking back of a rock. He dies. But just as he dies, he wakes up. What the fuck? This guy gets reborn as the goddamn idol's twin. She's got twins, and he gets reborn as the boy. And the idol's got, like, purple eyes with stars as pupils, I guess. It's very anime. The boy has blue eyes, and he's got his on the right. The girl has red. She's got hers on the left. You got Ruby and Aqua. Awful fucking names. It makes sense, I guess, because, red eye, blue eye, Aqua and Ruby. Shit fucking names for children. I would bully you. And I wouldn't bully anyone. I was the bullied, but you know what I mean? Like, somebody bully that kid. So anyways, they get born, so we gotta deal with this like 30-year-old doctor now in a child's body. Like, now you have to pretend like you're in a situation where you have other parents. You've had them for like 30 years. You've built a life for 30 years, and now you just have to like reset, but they still have their memories. And I don't know if the girl is the cancer patient reincarnated, but my assumption is the cancer patient got reincarnated as the girl. And there's a very weird scene where the fucking mom tries to nurse her children with her tits, and the doctor, thank God, goes, no, that's too weird, and he starts sucking on the bottle, and the mom just associates that with, oh, he's independent, he likes his bottle. No, it's a 30-year-old doctor who doesn't want to suck on your 16-year-old fucking tits. Alright? Like, fuck. Man. Just say they're 18. Just say they're 18. The red-eyed bitch is sucking on some tits. The doctor's not having any of that, and then I don't know what the fuck happens. Her handler's wife gets mad with her and then threatens to like break her secrets, and then the babies fuck with her, I guess. And then, you know, she does idol shit. It started getting weird and boring, so I left for the store actually for a certain point. But then I came back and shit started getting hectic. The stalker comes back and he's like, oh my god, she had twins. I'm fucking horrified. Like, he's tearing at his face. So he shows up to her new apartment and kills her. I don't know if anything else memorable happened, but he shows up to her apartment and fucking kills her. I was horrified. I was like, wait, what? Is this happening? It's wild. Is she actually dying? Like, okay, this is kind of crazy. Like, the amount of shit that just happened, I have to give it to them. It was wild. We had a gynecologist freaking out over an idol, which was weird. Then he becomes her baby. Weird. Even weirder. He dies. The fuck? The cancer patient reincarnated with her same memories or something like that. I don't know, maybe not. Starts sucking on her boobs, knowing what she's doing. It's like, fuck, man. This is better than Full Metal Alchemist for some people. Attack on Titan? Gintama? Naruto? Bleach? Like, come on, man. Naruto. Like, I don't know. You know, to each their own. But there's no fucking way that this is number one. I'm sorry. First off, let me get this off the table right now. There is no way an hour and 22 minutes of that are going to be taught by anything within a 22-minute span from any of these future episodes. There's only 11, it says. I don't know if they're adapting the whole manga. I don't know if it's going to be a season 2. I don't know about any of that goofy goober type shit. What I do know is at the end, the stalker kills the mom. The babies grow up to basically the same age as the mom was when she had them. Hoshino, the idol. And now they're grown up. We got Aqua the boy and Ruby the girl. And now it doesn't really matter if they're, you know, cancer patient reincarnated or doctor reincarnated. You know, we're just gonna, this is Aqua and this is Ruby. Move on. We don't need to visit the doctor's family. We don't need to indulge in any of that. This is just Aqua now. This isn't the doctor. I don't even know his fucking name. Everybody dies in the first episode. And it was crazy. Even the stalker hung himself. Like, it was retarded. Like, it was actually messed up in the head. Holy fuck. Wildest first episode I've ever seen, though. Gurren Lagann, my favorite anime of all time. Can't remember its first episode. Attack on Titan, that's a first episode I remember. That's probably up there with one of the better first episodes of all time. Fire Force, can't remember the first episode. What else was there? Death Parade, can't remember that. Parasite, can't remember that. Like, I can't remember Seven Deadly Sins, Naruto, Fairy Tail. Can't remember any of those. I'm sorry. I just can't. Maybe I should remember Naruto's first episode, but you know what? I'm trying to say that Oshi no Ko probably had the most memorable first episode of all time. It was an hour and 22 minutes. Like, my God. There was so much they fit into that. Anyways, I have no ranking for it because I'm not going to rank something that's just got one episode. This was the most, like, out of nowhere thing I've ever seen. It has to be the most overhyped thing I've seen in my generation of watching anime. Like, you know, for as long as I've watched anime or read manga, you know, nothing has just come out of nowhere and be shot to the top. Just like that. Like, it's been out for 4 fucking days. Not even. And all of a sudden, I gotta deal with people in comment sections and threads staring at their comments because I don't reply to that shit because who the fuck wants to get involved in that? I don't reply to any of that shit, but you have to see this shit everywhere that, oh, Oshi no Ko, great, blah, 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 best, peak, this, that. Like, first fucking episode. I promise you, it's not gonna get better than that. That was crazy. Like, that was good. I enjoyed it. You can't get better than that. I'm sorry. And, it's gonna be fine. I'm sure once it continues on, it's gonna be fine, but you're not topping that first episode. Get that off the fucking table. Anyways, that was Oshi no Ko. I watched with my cousin. She loved it. My sister even thought it was crazy. Like, she was like, oh, we're gonna have to check out the next episode. My sister doesn't do that for any anime. So yeah. We'll see where this takes us. No ranking yet, but, to rank this as number 1, nah, bro. Get the fuck off this timeline. You can't be here. You don't belong here. You deserve to be bullied and picked on. For thinking this is number 1. Do you know how much anime exists in this world? And you're gonna tell me this episode from 3 days ago that just came out? Number 1, at the top of the mountain, sir. No, thank you. Anyways, just a little thought from me. I had to go over this because everyone's talking about it. I didn't like my original video. I rambled a little too long. I think this one's a little better, though. Anyways, I've been Feels Like Dboss. You've been watching me talk about some fucked up anime, and I hope to see you in the next one. Please have yourselves a damn good one.